Hi, and welcome to my channel. My name is Kim, aka the Booker Harlot, because I love all things Booker Prize related. Now, the shortlist has been announced, and I'm going to deviate just a tiny little bit for this reading vlog because I am planning on reading all of the shortlist, but with the actual book. So I needed something to listen to while I drive, and while I walk the dog, and while I knit and do all the other things that I'm passionate about. So a new book just came out. It is Learned by Heart by Emma Donoghue. Isn't that a beautiful cover? So I thought I would listen to the audiobook. It is narrated by Shiromi Arciero, and Emma Donoghue is one of my favorite authors, and she is Canadian. So I will leave you with some clips of all the things I do while I listen to audiobooks, and I'll get back to you when I have thoughts. See you soon. So this is another one of my favorite things. I have a weekly subscription to a local florist that grows their own flowers. And aren't those stunning? I am more than halfway through Learned by Heart, and I have discovered that when I'm making these videos, if I'm struggling with a book, I tend to do the middle review later than I would like because I don't want to say anything negative. So I am going to try to be as positively constructed about this review as possible. So let's start off with structure. This book takes place in the 1800s and it alternates between 1805 going into 1806 at a boarding school in which Anne Lister and Eliza Raine first meet and form a friendship, which, as we know, turns into a passionate love affair. And then it will skip forward to 1815, in which Eliza, whom we discover has been driven insane and is staying in an asylum, in which she's writing letters to Lister, who has vanished from her life. Now, I am heavily influenced by Gentleman Black. Gentleman Jack. I loved that series. I've watched it twice, and I love what Emma Donoghue has done with Lister and her character. I think that from watching that series, she has depicted a character who is feisty and witty and sharp and is determined to live her own life. Now, this is told from Eliza Raine's perspective. So you only see her interpretation of the world and her interpretation of Lister. And I think that it is an incredibly inventive structure and ambitious undertaking to show the story from Eliza Raine's point of view. However, where I am struggling is that I'm 3/4 of the way through the book. And when it comes to the boarding school, it is so slowly paced. It is excruciating. I am tired of listening to all of the schoolgirl antics. I think that she very quickly, being the amazing writer that she is, established the place and established the characters and where they were as 14-year-olds. I don't need for there to be game after game and all of the descriptions about the classes and their demerits and all of the food that they're eating or they're not eating and their daily lives and their vacations. It needs to be finely edited, and it needs to move forward into more of a friendship sooner on. What I do like, and surprisingly because I hate letter form, is I really like Eliza's voice when she's writing the letters, because it is filled with suspense and it is filled with questions as to why Lister has disappeared. So we're going to go for a walk, and we're going to keep listening to this book, and I'll get back to you when I'm done with it. Should we go for a walk? Come on. So I have finished the audiobook, and this will be spoiler free, but let me tell you, the ending is absolutely amazing. It is brilliant. It is the reason I read. It is complex and nuanced and moving and intricate and ties in images and Shakespearean references. If I wasn't driving to work, I would have pulled over to listen to the ending. And when I say ending, I mean Rain's last sort of letter to Lister. And the scene that unfolds is incredible. This is why books are magic and reading is magic. But it just drives me crazy because I had such a problem with the first three quarters of the book just being too long, being too much about the minutiae of classroom life in 1805/1806. I really wish that this book had almost started at the beginning and worked its way back with heavy editing. Um, so the images and the metaphors that are all tied up at the end of the book are incredible, and there is such a maturity to this side of um, Eliza reign in 1850, and it's interesting because Emma Donoghue takes languages and images and metaphors from their classroom time 10 years ago and weaves them into the last scene of the novel in such a moving and different ways that really shows the um, relationship. I won't give it away, but the relationship changing. Um, now, if anyone is listening to the audio, there is no author's note in the edition that I listened to. So it's worth going and getting an actual copy of the book because for about 5 or 6 pages, Emma Donoghue talks about how heavily she researched this book and how much she considers Lister a hero. And it's wonderful. Now, I have to give an ode to Emma Donoghue as well. In terms of the Shakespearean references that they use, they are on point. I've spent many years of my life studying Shakespeare, and it irks me when authors can't get certain things right. Emma Donoghue did this so well throughout the book, and especially in the last chapter. So my favorite Emma Donoghue book, and it's also historical fiction if you are interested in reading her, is probably The Pull of the Stars. And just on a last note, I really do like Donoghue's portrayal of both the characters of Eliza Reign and Anne Lester. I think that they really have come to life for me. And as I said before, I am a Gentleman Jack series fan. So that's what really drew me to this book and propelled me to finish it. And I would highly recommend finishing it. And you can probably skip 50 to 100 pages in the middle of it if it's going on for too long. You won't be losing out on anything. So that's my thoughts on Learn by Heart by Emma Donoghue. Thank you so much for joining me. Please like and subscribe, and I will link some of my Booker book reviews as well as the best of the Booker part 1 through 4 in the description box below. And I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.